What is going on, Fox and Tenacious Fox, your coach of the Indie Ivysaurs, bringing you week 6 of the TCL. This week we're playing Scrub Supreme, and his Central Florida Cramorants. I can't talk. I literally cannot talk, which is not a good thing because this is a long match. So buckle up because this is going to be a longer video. A little bit about his team and kind of stuff that I'm scared of on his team. Now, first off, I expected 4 of these mons. So I expected Snorlax, Gliscor, even though Gliscor really can't do much to my team, Jolteon and Bronzong. I did not expect Gyarados to come. I expected him to bring Togekiss instead of this Gyarados. And I'm not super surprised he brought the Spiritomb because it gets Will-O-Wisp. And obviously he wanted to do that to my physical attackers. But yeah, Spiritomb was a good bring. I'm not gonna say it wasn't, but this one could have been a toss up between Ambipom and what else did he have that I thought he could bring? Medicham. I actually think Medicham would have been a better bring than Gliscor. And the reason is Gliscor can never do anything to my Skarmory. Never. Ever. Like, he could get to +6 and it still like maybe does 50% with a facade. And that's why I really did not expect this Gliscor. We did add a Vileplume to our team, but in the middle of the week, we dropped Leafeon and added Vileplume, basically because I was like, hey, look, come on, we haven't even used Baton Pass on Leafeon, which was why I wanted Leafeon in the first place, as well as Wish. And I was like, we haven't even used it, so let's drop it. Let's get something that's amazingly defensive, because sometimes our team, even though we have like really good defensive options like Miltank and Skarmory, I've noticed that sometimes our defensive options are all weak to the same thing, and that's kind of what I've kind of run into in recent weeks, where I'm really struggling to build a team, because if I need like 1 or 2 walls against somebody and I don't have anything that can that can wall them. So yeah, Vileplume really does plug some holes for us. Obviously gets strength sap in this game, gets Sludge Bomb and a bunch of other good stuff. Most people know what Vileplume gets. So we did add that. Our Azumarill is banded. I believe we banded Mamoswine as well. We banded Mamoswine and we did Choice Specs Mew, and that was basically for 2 reasons. Excuse me. One reason was because we could 2-shot the Snorlax with Focus Blast, and 2, we could 2-shot this Bronzong with Dark Pulse. So that was mainly the reason. Now we're gonna get into this match right away because this is a long match, but we're gonna lead with Mew, and I do expect him to lead with Bronzong, which he does. He does lead with a Bronzong, and I know this first play. If you guys watched our last week's video, you found out, and we found out, that we're very weak to screens, especially Reflect. And I'm expecting to either go for a Reflect or a Stealth Rock here, and we're gonna go for the Dark Pulse. We do see that he's Cobra Berry, which probably a good bring. I don't really agree with it. I think Leftovers would have done him better, even though Mew kind of pulverizes it with Dark Pulse. And then he does go for Stealth Rocks, and I expected that. He does switch into his Spiritomb, which man, that does a lot of damage to Spiritomb. So I'm expecting this to not be very specially defensive, more physically defensive, which doesn't surprise me based on our team. So we're gonna bring in the Vileplume on this thing, because that's our best option for it. Because honestly, we didn't see the Togekiss, so I can bring this Vileplume in anytime. He doesn't really have anything that can kill this. He can maybe get like a Dragon Dance or 2 up on the Gyarados, and Ice Fang will do a ton to it. But I'm not going to leave this in on a +1 Gyarados, so we don't really need to worry about that. We are going to bring Vileplume in as he goes for a Sucker Punch. That was pretty expected. We're gonna go for the Leech Seed, get some health back. He's gonna go for the Foul Play. I honestly think He leaves the Spiritomb in here for far too long here. I would have probably switched out, and I expected him to switch out. We're going to Toxic it as well as he goes for the Will-O-Wisp. Again, I don't know why he kept his Spiritomb in so long at the very beginning of the game. He probably just did not know what to do to our Vileplume, honestly. I don't know if he really expected Vileplume to come. And I don't think he really had he really didn't know what to do to it, to be honest with you. We do go for the Moonblast after he stayed in for 4 turns, because honestly, that was why I was really surprised that he stayed in, because I knew he was not specially invested based on the Dark Pulse damage, and Moonblast was going to do a crap ton to this thing early on, and I knew that this Spiritomb, I knew he wanted this Spiritomb to burn on Mamoswine and our Azumarill, so I was really surprised that he left it in for so long. He does go into this Gliscor and goes for the Swords Dance. I'm going to go for the Leech Seed. We're going to stall a few turns. I'm going to go for the Strength Sap after this turn, just to kind of see how much damage he does, kind of find out his investment, really. And this is basically going to be a stalemate here, honestly. He can barely do anything to me. I'm going to go for the Moonblast, lowers attack, or lowers health a little bit more. And then we're going to go for another Strength Sap here as he brings in the Bronzong. We're going to get healed fully. And I believe we go for the Leech Seed here. Put a little bit of chip damage on this Bronzong. Now, I didn't expect him to stay in, but I wasn't sure what he would go for. So I go into Mew. Half expecting him to stay in, half expecting him to go into Gliscor, to be honest with you. Or Gyarados. And I do have Thunderbolt on Mew. It's specs. I have Focus Blast, Thunderbolt, Dark Pulse, and Ice Beam on our Mew. He does go into Jolteon. I don't really want to take a lot of damage from this, and I'm fully expecting a Shadow Ball here. So we go into Miltank as he goes for the Shadow Ball, and we're gonna heal up. We're gonna put our own rocks up. He does go into this Spiritomb, which again surprises me. This Spiritomb play surprised me because Miltank gets scrappy. So I think he was thinking that, oh, I can go to Spiritomb and he's not gonna be able to touch me. But I get scrappy. I do get scrappy, so I can hit you. I can hit ghost types. So we're just gonna Heal Bell here, get the burn off of our Vileplume. He goes for the Foul Play again. I can just sit in front of this thing forever. To be honest with you, I do go for the Earthquake here as he switches into Bronzong, which was really unfortunate. Really unfortunate. I brought the Earthquake for Jolteon because I knew if he was like specs, we could tank at least 1 hit and then Earthquake it. So that was kind of what I had expected. He does put up the Reflect, which I expected this thing to have. We're gonna go for the Leech Seed. We do miss, unfortunately. And then he's going to go for the Ice Fang. Does so much, dude. Does so much. But I'm pretty confident we can live another hit. I just don't know what his set is. So it was between 2 sets. One set, if he was Jolly, we would 100% live unless he crit. We could go for the Strength Sap and be totally fine. But if he was Adamant, then he could had a chance to kill us. So we're just gonna switch out into Skarmory because this thing can't do anything to Skarmory. Is going to go for the Ice Fang. I know he's not going to stay in here. So we're just going to go for the Defog, get rid of the Reflect and the Rocks. So I'm going to switch into Mamoswine here, fully expecting a Electric attack. But he does go for the Substitute, which was a really good bring. So I expected this to be a spec set, which that's what I was hoping for. That's what I was expecting, to be honest with you. But it is bringing the Substitute set, which I think was better, in my opinion. The spec set really did a lot of damage to my team. Like, there was nothing that could take 2 hits from this Jolteon specs. But being that it was subbed, I had to be more careful about my switch outs. So we are gonna go for the Icicle Crash here because I know I can take at least 1 hit from Jolteon. I forgot I got Baton Pass, even though even though I have a Leafeon, or I had a Leafeon and knew that it got Baton Pass. But we were going to go for the Icicle Crash so he can't set up with this thing. Then we're going to bring in Vileplume. Because we can just click Strength Sap, and he's not going to be able to do anything to us. He does go for the Body Slam, gets the Paralyze. First turn, Paralyze, man. That's really unfortunate. But we still outspeed him. So it's all good. He is going to go for Body Slam again. I believe I switch out into Skarmory here. No, he switches into Bronzong. Okay. Which we get paralyzed anyways. I think I went for a Leech Seed because I expected him to switch out. We are going to bring Mew back into the game. We're going to go for the Dark Pulse, which I was a little surprised he went into Snorlax, but also not surprised, to be honest with you. And then we're going to go back into, we're going to go into Skarmory, and we're just honestly going to Whirlwind this thing out of here. We're going to get this thing out of here. He does actually go into Jolteon as we go for a Defog. I expected him to stay in, maybe go for the Body Slam, and I knew I could tank at least 2 hits, even if he was at +2. Does go for the Shadow Ball, which is unfortunate. We Whirlwind that thing out, and he brings the it brings the Snorlax right back in. Basically, I thought he would go for another substitute, so I wanted to Whirlwind that out of the game. And while Snorlax is in the game, while Snorlax is in on my Skarmory, I know I can do anything to it, so I just go for the Roost, get our Skarmory back to full health, and whatever this thing does, I'm just going to go for a Brave Bird, because I know it will kill. I know it'll kill. Even though I'm -1, I know it'll kill, because it was low enough to die. We are going to switch into Miltank here on the Thunderbolt. I thought maybe he would go for the Shadow Ball, expecting me to switch to Mamoswine, to be honest with you, but he doesn't. He goes for the Thunderbolt. We're gonna go for the Stealth Rocks here, and then I believe we're going to switch in our. Oh, we just go for the Heal Bell. Get rid of the paralysis on our Vileplume, and then we're gonna bring in Mew as he goes for the Gyro Ball here, which does a crap ton to our Mew. And I was like, dang, that was not a preferable play there. And I had a feeling he would switch into Snorlax here. I had a big feeling he was switching to Snorlax. So we're just going to put our Leech Seed back on this thing. We do get the Effect Spore, which is 33%. So I think he had hit me 3 times by now with this Snorlax. So probably pretty justified. If he hadn't hit me 3 times, he definitely hit me at least once with a Gyarados. And he hit me with, well, Gliscor couldn't get Effect Spore, but yeah, it was probably justified for the Effect Spore. It wasn't like that big of hacks. We are going to bring the Mew in because we know this Leech Seed is going to heal us up a little bit, and we can go for I can go for the Focus Blast here because I'm fairly confident that Focus Blast and Leech Seed is going to kill this thing if we land the Focus Blast, which he is going to switch into Jolteon. Really unfortunate sequence of events as we miss the Focus Blast. We missed the Focus Blast, which is really unfortunate because if we hit that Focus Blast, we can finish this thing off with Mamoswine or Azumarill, no problem. So we are going to switch into Miltank, and unfortunately Miltank is going to go down. That did 34%, and then we're going to heal up to 35. I'm expecting him to die here. He does get a slightly higher roll, and then we're going to bring in Mamoswine. Really unfortunate that the Focus Blast didn't land because we would have killed with a Ice Shard here, but instead we're just going to have to go for I actually go for the Icicle Crash this time. I don't expect him to stay in, and I wanted to do a bunch of damage to this Bronzong. We do get a crit, which is unfortunate. I'm sorry for that. Probably made up for the missed Focus Blast, to be honest with you, because we would not have killed on that second Icicle Crash. Then he brings in the Snorlax, which I'm fully expecting to be thick fat, so we don't want to stay in on this. Had we not been choiced into Earthquake or something like that, we probably would have stayed in to hit it. We're gonna go for the Leech Seed as he goes for the Earthquake. And again, the Snorlax can't really do anything to Vileplume, which is why we brought this for the Snorlax. He is going to go into his Gliscor as I go for the Toxic. I wanted to do a little bit more chip on the Snorlax. I am going to go for the Moonblast here. That was probably a bad play from my part. I don't know what I expect him to do, to be honest with you. But we are going to go for the leech seed on the. Sorry, I lied. We're going to switch the Skarmory straight in. I thought I went for the leech seed first. It doesn't really matter. Again, and this is why I would not have brought this Gliscor, because Skarmory can come in this 100% of the time and just sit here. I can literally, he got a crit and it did 26%. And he's an offensive Gliscor. Like, I can literally just sit here forever and he can't do anything to me. We're going to go for the Whirlwind. Bring out the Jolteon, which is really, really unfortunate. That's the one thing we did not want to see with that Whirlwind. The one thing. I'm going to go for Mamoswine and hope that he does not go for the substitute, which I think he probably should have gone for in that situation. I think 100% of the time, if he gets brought in on Skarmory, I think he always goes for substitute, which was really fortunate for us. He does get this with Death Drop, though, which means his next Shadow Ball is going to kill. 100% going to kill. I don't think it would have killed. I think this 35% was actually a max roll based on his set, which is another unfortunate. I didn't need to lose my Mamoswine, which I was really upset. Still, really unfortunate the Focus Blast missed. We're just going to do an Ice Shard and put this in range of an Aqua Jet for our Azumarill. And then we're going to come in with Azu. And we're going to go for the Aqua Jet. I don't know why he stayed in, to be honest with you. I probably would not have stayed in if I were him. What does he say here? The risk. See, I don't know. I think that was a misplay for him. To be honest with you, I really do think that was a misplaced grub. Because I think even if I wasn't banded, I think Aqua Jet probably still kills. Azumarill Huge Power hits really, really hard. I didn't do the I did not do the calc, but I think that still kills. But I think probably he was expecting maybe a Belly Drum. Maybe that's what he was expecting, because Belly Drum is Azu from right there probably would have swept. But it doesn't really matter. We're going to switch into Vileplume. I kind of expected the rest here. He goes for the Body Slam, and he gets the Paralyze, and then we get another Effect Spore. So we're going to switch right back into Azumarill. I'm really hoping that he doesn't switch out here, because I can kill this thing with Brick Break. Which we're going to go for. We're going to go for the Brick Break and kill his Snorlax. I was a little bit surprised he didn't switch into Spiritomb, to be honest with you. But I don't think he still didn't think we were banded yet. But we do go for the Brick Break there. He goes for the Sucker Punch, and of course that does not hit. He definitely did not think we were banded, because he went for the Sucker Punch after I went for Brick Break, and this is a Ghost type, so that definitely would not have hit. He's going to go for the taunt, so he finally reveals the taunt. Finally reveals the taunt with this thing, which I don't know why he didn't use that earlier in the game, to be honest with you. So we're going to go for the Moonblast, which would have obliterated the Spiritomb. And then we're going to go into Skarmory and go for the Whirlwind. This game is settling down. All we have to do is get our Azumarill in pretty easily, and it can sweep with Aqua Jet, to be honest with you. We're going to go for the Whirlwind. Then I believe we're just going to switch into Vileplume and then go for... Okay, so I switched into the Vileplume right there because I expected him to go for a Will-O-Wisp. Excuse me, I'm hiccuping really bad now. It's probably because this match has lasted so long. 66 freaking turns. I did expect him to go for the Will-O-Wisp. For him expecting me to switch into Azu. I really, really expected that, and that would have been a throw on our part. He does go for the taunt there, and I'm just going to double into Azumarill here, because I do expect him to go into... I did expect him to go to Gliscor here, to be honest with you. I did expect the Gliscor to come out. Here, basically, if he does not crit me here, I win. So... if he does not crit me with this facade, I win. We go for the Waterfall, KO we actually got a crit with the Waterfall as well. Yeah, so we go for the Waterfall, KO the the Gliscor. Azumarill did put in massive amount of work and really won us the game there. That's gonna be all for this match. We do get back in the win column. We go to 5-1. So really good to get another win after last week's debacle. But anyways, that's going to be all for this video. Make sure you guys like and subscribe and all that good stuff. Thank you guys for watching. As always, Fox out.